Hi guys, and welcome to another Watch Geek video. Today we're doing a detailed tutorial of the module 5636 in this MTG-B2000 G-Shock. Now I'm pretty sure this will also cover the MRG models that have the same module, maybe a different number, but if you see the same layout of the subdials, this can also be applied to it. Now, just like in all my other tutorial videos, in the description I'll leave a table of contents with time codes so you can jump to a specific part of the video or function of the watch. However, I do advise you to watch the whole tutorial the first time just so you get acquainted with all the functions that this watch offers. This is a solar, atomic, or radio controlled G-Shock that also comes with Bluetooth connectivity. Now, when it comes to Bluetooth connectivity, I'm just gonna explain the basics because once you connect it to your phone, it's gonna be pretty self-explanatory inside the app. This tutorial is gonna cover all the functions that are watch only, so without using your phone. However, I do have to cover the parts that are connected to your phone if you have problems with your watch. So the first thing that I'm gonna show you is how to clear the pairing data and reset the watch. Why? Because if you change your phone, or if you pair this watch to a certain phone and then you change your phone and you want to pair it to another one, you're gonna have trouble until you clear the pairing data inside the watch, not only on the phone. So if you want to pair this watch, you simply download the G-Shock Connected app. Once you've downloaded, you follow the on-screen instructions, and once there, it's gonna tell you to turn on the Bluetooth and then to press and hold this lower right button for about 5 seconds, or until this, not 5 seconds, a couple of seconds, until the seconds hand jumps to this C. That's gonna pair the watch to the phone, and after that it's gonna get set up automatically. You don't have to touch it ever again, only when you want to set things up. However, like I said, if you change your phone and you delete the app on the phone, you reinstall it, this watch is not gonna connect until you reset the pairing data. Now, to do that, all you have to do is be in this home screen or calendar mode, which is displayed by the mode hand showing day of the week. So if you're in any other mode, you simply toggle until this little hand, this one right here, shows the day of the week. Once here, unscrew the crown, pull it out to the second position, so it has 3 clicks, or 3 positions and 2 clicks. Closed, first click, second click, and then press this lower right button for more than 10 seconds. So press and hold, I'm not gonna do it right now, press and hold it for 10 seconds. That's gonna reset the pairing data so you can connect the watch to your phone. If, however, this doesn't help, you can do an all reset on the watch. To do an all reset on the watch, again, the crown has to be in the second position, and then you press and hold the upper right button for about 5 seconds. If you do that, the seconds hand is gonna make a revolution, jump to 12 o'clock. That's gonna mean that the watch has reset itself. You then close the crown and you just completed an all reset and the clearing of the pairing data, which is pretty cool. Okay, let's move on. Another thing that you can do while the crown is in the second position is do the hands alignment. So pull the crown to the second position. This is also something that the watch is going to do automatically through the app, but if you want to do it manually and you realize that your watch is doing some weird stuff and showing things that it shouldn't, just pull the crown to the second position and then hold the lower right button for 5 seconds until the seconds hand jumps to 12. So press and hold, so not 10 but 5 seconds. There. And now, as you can see, the watch beeped, the seconds hand jumped to 12. And now, once the seconds hand has jumped to 12 o'clock, as you can see, the hour and minute hand start to move. What's happening here is that the watch is doing an automatic alignment. So it has a couple of sensors that can sense where the hands are, and now it's trying to figure out where they are, and they're gonna end up at 12 o'clock. So the minute hand, the hour hand, and the 24-hour subdial hand are something that you don't have to touch. The watch is gonna do it by itself. Once it completes this and once it aligns all the hands, then you're going to have to align the subdial here and the function hand here and the date here. To do so, you have to wait for the watch to complete this minute and hour hand alignment. Once it does that, you will simply press the mode button to change what you change next, and then you'll be able to adjust it. But we'll just let it keep doing this until it completes the alignment. There, it just aligned the hour, the minute, and the seconds hand. So now you can press the mode button, and now the little subdial hands are gonna spin, and everything has to point exactly up or 12 o'clock. So as you can see, this is now midnight, and this little AM PM indicator of the subdial is also pointing upwards. Now you can move it in 1 minute increments, and they're all connected, the subdial hand and the small AM PM indicator, or you can rapidly move them by simply turning the crown a couple of times, and then it's gonna start moving much faster, like so. Okay, let's bring it back to 12. Oh, this is a bit tricky. Come on. Now it's probably gonna start moving fast and mess up my settings. Please don't jump now. Okay, this should be it. Like so. Press the mode button. This hand now moves, and now this one you have to align not only this, but you also have to check the date. It has to be centered in the window. We can go move here, and again you can rapidly move it, but I won't. Finally, we press the mode button, and now the date has to be at 1. So don't do this if it's like the 15th, because you're gonna have to wait a long time, because it really takes a long time for it to reach 1. So as you can see, this is now a perfectly aligned watch. The hour, the minute, the seconds hand, the 24-hour indicator, the small subdial, this indicator, all of them are pointing to 12, and the date is at 1. So this watch is perfectly aligned. Again, something that can be done automatically in the app. Push in the crown, and there we go. The watch is gonna jump back to where the hands are when they point at the correct time. And that's pretty much it when it comes to these utility parts of this watch. So we covered the pairing and the clearing of the pairing. We covered the all reset. We covered the hands alignment, and that's pretty much it. So another thing that I wanna cover that's regarding the Bluetooth connection is the airplane mode. To enter or to disable and enable the airplane mode, you have to press the lower button while you're in this calendar or home screen. So once you do it, this hand is going to jump to indicate whether the last time the watch had a successful or an unsuccessful connection to your phone. And this lasts for 10 seconds, and then the hand resumes operation like this. To enter the airplane mode, you have to press this, and within those 10 seconds, pull the crown to the first click, like so. And now, turning the crown can turn the airplane mode on or off. A bit counterintuitive is that yes means that the airplane mode is off, because now you enabled the connection to the phone, and if you put it to N, that means that the airplane mode is on, which means that you're disabling the connection to the phone. So don't look at it as an airplane mode on off, but more like connection yes or no. So no connection when you're on the airplane, yes connection when you're not on the airplane. Once you selected whichever one you want, you simply close the crown, and that's pretty much it. Okay, with this Bluetooth part covered, let's do the manual usage of this watch. So let's say you aligned the hands and now you want to set up the time manually. To do so, you have to be in this home screen, so the watch is running, this hand is showing the day of the week. You simply pull the crown to the second click. This hand is now gonna ask you for your time zone. This watch, unlike other G-Shocks, doesn't have the ring with the cities. Instead, this is GMT, like so. And now you have to move by how many hours or your time zone is offset to the GMT. Plus hours of GMT and minus hours, so due west, due east. And you have the list of cities, and I'll put it on the screen so you can freeze the screen and check out which time zone you're in. And then you can go, I believe, 14 hours in this direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And once you reach 14, it's not going to move anymore. like so. And you can go backwards at minus 12 hours. And again, it's not going to go anywhere other than that. So if we go backwards, it's going to go to minus 12, like so, and it stops. I'm at GMT plus 1, which is Paris. So we'll put it to GMT. We're going to move it by 1. And that's it. So now I've set up my time to GMT plus 1. The next thing that you want to do is check out the DST, and this is also how you can change the DST. So as you can see, this hand is now showing at the AT, which means automatic. Once it connects to the phone, it's going to update the time. You can manually override it by pressing this button until the hand moves. So press with the crown opened, and as you can see, it moved to STD, which means standard time or winter time. Now pressing it again and holding, once it moves, it's now the DST or summertime. So pressing it again jumps back to the automatic. So this is how you change the DST for your home city or home time. You simply pull the crown to the second click and then press until this hand jumps. But don't press it for too long because you're going to jump into those advanced functions that we just covered. With the DST set up and the time zone set up, it's time to set the next thing. So you press and hold the mode button, and this is gonna rotate, and now you can adjust the minutes. You can adjust them in 1 minute increments, or you can spin the crown and then it's gonna move rapidly like this. Okay, with the minutes adjusted, you press the mode button, the hours hand is gonna start dancing, so then now you can move in 1 hour increments to change the time, like so. And again, you can move it rapidly, but there's no need for it. Pressing the mode button again, this gets tricky. Now you have to set up the calendar. So now the seconds hand is displaying the tens of years. So if it's 20, let's say now it's 2022, this is tens, this is 20s, this is 30s, this is 40s. So now we're at 2020. This is 2030, this is 2040, 2050. Let's go back to 2020. So this is now 2020. Press the mode button again. The seconds hand shows you the ones of the years. So this is now 2022. This would be 2023. Going back, this would be 2021. This would be 2020. So let's go back to 2022. So the years have been set up. Press the mode button again. The seconds hand is going to ask you for the month. So months are pretty much from January all the way to December. Currently it's March. Again, you can move forwards, you can move backwards. So this is May, April, and March. Pressing the mode button again, the watch is going to ask you for the date. And this is a bit, I don't know, badly made because each revolution, look how long it takes to change the date. So this is going to be something, I mean, once you set it up, you're never going to touch it, but it is quite annoying. Look, now going to the second, and this is the only part that I don't like about this watch. But like I said, this is going to be something that I will do once and never touch it again. With the date set up, we press the mode button, and the watch returns back to the setting of the minutes. Now please be advised that you have the 24-hour indicator here, so make sure you set up the AM PM correctly, because you don't want your watch to change the date at noon instead of midnight. So with the time set up, we simply close the crown. And that's pretty much it. You've set up this watch. To turn on the light, you simply press this. It's gonna turn on the light. That's it when it comes to this home screen. The next function is the world time function, which is in a genius way put into the home screen. So you don't have to cycle through modes, but instead, since this watch always displays the world time here and the main time here, configuring the world time is pretty much the same as the main time. So instead of pulling the crown to the second click, you pull it to the first click, like so. And again, the seconds hand asks you for the time zone of the world time. And look, if we move it like this little thing adjusts. And here you again have an AM PM indicator in this small little arrow. So let's put the time zone to, this was set to GMT. Let's go 1 hour before GMT, like so, or 2 or 3. Again, you have to use that table to know the offset of the GMT of the time zone where you want to travel. Once you've set up the time zone of this individual world time, you can change the DST setting as well, and it's done the same way as in the main time. So with the crown pulled to the first click, pressing this button and holding it will move from standard time to DST and back like that. Pretty cool and pretty simple. So to change the DST of the main time, you pull the crown to the second click and press and hold this until this needle moves. To change the DST of the world time, you pull to the first click and again press and hold this. To change the time zone of the main time, you pull the crown to the second click and just rotate. To change the time zone of the world time, you pull to the first click and then rotate, which is pretty brilliant. Another brilliant thing for travelers is that you can do the time swap. So if I'm currently in this time zone but I'm traveling to this time zone, since the alarms are connected to the main time, I want this small subdial to be the main time and I want this big time to be here so I can keep track of my time back home. To do this, you simply press and hold this button while the crown is in the closed position. So once you land where you went, you simply press and hold. And there, the watch just changed these two time zones. And it does it pretty fast. Once you travel back, again, once you land, you don't have to touch the crown, it's in the closed position. You simply press and hold this again. And there, the watch just changed again. Very cool and pretty brilliant. This covers the world time and the main time. So let's now move on to the next function. So the next function is the stopwatch. Once in the stopwatch mode, where's that little thingy? This is going to be the seconds of the stopwatch, and these are going to be minutes and hours. So to start the stopwatch, you press the lower right button. It's going to start. You can also stop it by pressing this, and you can reset it with the reset button, which is the upper left one. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the stopwatch. I don't know how useful it can be because minutes are going to be pretty hard to read on this small subdial, but that's it. The next function is the countdown timer. Again, this is the seconds of the countdown timer. These are the minutes and the hours. And once you start it with this start button, lower right. It's gonna go backwards, which is pretty cool, so you can mess with people. You start, I don't know, do a 24-hour countdown timer, and then you start it and let people look at your watch with the seconds hand going backwards. These minutes and hours are also going backwards. Once they reach 0, the watch is gonna beep. Naturally, you can set it up in 1-minute increments to any time you want. So let's stop it. Let's reset with the reset button. And to set up the countdown timer, you simply pull the crown to the first click while you're in the countdown timer, like so. And now using the crown, you can rapidly or change the time that you want the countdown timer to be, or you can do it in 1-minute increments, like so. So this is now going to be a 3-hour countdown timer. Once you've completed the setting, you close the crown, and again, you can start it. Now it's going to count down from 3 hours. Once it reaches 0, it's going to beep. Let's stop it. Let's reset it. The last thing that we need to cover is the alarm. So press the mode button again once the watch jumps into the alarm. As you can see, this here has no and yes, whether the alarm is turned on or turned off. Once you start setting the alarm by again pulling it to the first crown, just like on the countdown timer, it's automatically gonna turn itself on. So now it's on, and again, just like the countdown timer, you can adjust it by turning the crown. And again, make sure you check the AM PM to know whether you're setting the alarm for the AM in the morning or in the evening. As you can see, this small hand is moving following this hour hand. So here, as you can see, it's now AM. Once it reaches 12 again, it's gonna jump to PM. This is also how you use the 24-hour chronograph. Okay, let it go past so you can see what I mean. And there you can see, now it's at PM. Let's stop it, and again, you can move it in 1-minute increments. Okay, so this is now at 2 PM. So this alarm is set to 2 PM. You can also turn it on or once you close the crown. That's pretty much it. And again, you can turn the alarm on or off by simply pressing this lower button. So no matter what time you set it up, you don't have to pull the crown to turn it on. You can simply use this lower button to turn it on. And that's it. Another thing that I missed, and I just did it accidentally, is the hand shift. If you think the hands are in your way, in any mode, simply press this upper button. If the watch sees the hands are in the way, it's gonna move them away. To reset back, simply press this. And press the mode button to jump back to the home screen. And that's pretty much it when it comes to this watch. I hope you enjoyed and found it useful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.